Hey there, and welcome back to the channel. This morning we're in the kitchen making an all-time favorite and traditional French classic, crepes. So sit back, hit that subscribe button, and enjoy the video. So as you can see on the counter this morning, we don't really have much, and that's because we don't need much to get going on these crepes. We got 1 cup of AP flour, we have 1 cup of milk, 2 eggs, and we have 2 tablespoons of butter here. Since we're going to be putting our crepes with something sweet, we've got just a little bit of vanilla extract that we're going to add just a dash in here in just a second, maybe about a half a teaspoon. And that's all you're really going to need, aside from a non-stick pan. If you prefer cast iron or whatever, that's perfect, but just something reasonably non-stick. And let's get going. To get started today with our crepes, we're going to put the 2 tablespoons of butter in the pan and turn it on to medium-low heat just to get the butter melted. Once we got that in, we're going to put the 1 cup of flour into a mixing bowl and add our 2 eggs, and we're just going to go ahead and mix those together well. So here we go. Okay, so as you can see, it's really thick right now and the flour is mostly incorporated with the egg. We're going to go ahead and add in the milk and then go back to mixing slowly. Alright guys, so we're going to take a break here and make sure we rub down those sides really well. But as you can see, our butter's nice and melted, so we're just going to take that off the heat and set it aside. If you notice, the crepe batter's nice and thin. It's not super thick, and that's exactly what we need. We need it really thin. That way it spreads well in the pan and makes those nice even crepes. We're going to go ahead and add in the butter. And I'm going to rake as much as possible out of the pan, as you can see here. Because if you leave the butter in there with a non-stick pan, the batter will actually just run right off the pan. It won't stick at all. And you need it to stick at least a little bit to get that nice bottom to the crepe. Alright, so there you have it. This is your basic crepe batter. You can see it's nice and thin. Most of the lumps are gone. This is nice and smooth. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put our pan back on the medium heat and wait for the pan to get hot, and we'll be right back. Alright, so our pan's nice and hot. So what we're going to do here is we're going to get 1 good spoonful of the crepe batter, and we're going to take the pan and pick it up. We're going to go into one side and just casually roll the batter around the outside of the pan, and you'll see it set as it slowly thins out and covers the entire area, and that's what's going to make it nice and even. Usually there's a little bit of a space like right in here where you notice it's just a little thicker. You can leave that if you'd like, or you can just casually drag your spatula back over it to thin it out. It doesn't really matter, whatever you choose. Alright, so it's been about 30 seconds now, and you can actually touch the crepe batter. You can see it's starting to lift off the edges of the pan just a little bit. So that means that it's starting to break loose, and you might be able to wiggle it back and forth. And you can flip these now. Once they nice and broken loose, you can flip the crepe. You can do that however you want. For this video, I'm literally just going to take the spatula and go up underneath it and turn the crepe over, because that's truly the easiest way to do it. With the crepe being so thin and sticky, it's always a safe way to do it. Once you flip the crepe, 10 seconds later, it's pretty much done. It's cooked almost all the way through before you ever flip it. But at this point, the crepe's totally done. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull it out onto a plate. And if you have someone with you, they can go ahead and start decorating the crepe. But since we don't, I'm going to go ahead and make the rest of these, and I'll be right back. So we take the pan, It's nice and hot. It's on medium heat here. We're just going to go with 1 spoonful of batter, and then we're just going to roll it around. Get the pan nice and coated, nice and even. And you have your nice even crepe. So we're going to let it cook for about 25-30 seconds. If you notice right now, it still looks like pancake batter, but once it cooks, it'll get that nice golden color to it. So we'll see. So as I noticed, you can see that the crepe here has started to pull away from the pan a little bit. It's actually completely let go of the pan, and it's got that nice golden color to it now, as opposed to the opaque milky color of the pancake batter. So it's nice and loose. Just gonna take a spatula and flip it right over there. And there you have it, another crepe. So once it's been flipped for 10 seconds, it's completely done and ready to go. So you can also save your crepes for later. So what we're gonna do here, since we have more crepes, or we're gonna have more crepes than I'm gonna eat right now, is I like to put down a little bit of parchment paper and literally stack the crepes with parchment between them. And then we can go right back to making our crepes. We can decorate whatever we want here in a second and go ahead and put the rest away for tomorrow. Alright guys, now that we got the crepes made, I went ahead and grabbed a few of my all-time favorites for crepes. Got some strawberries here, some sliced up bananas, Nutella, and Ready Whip, which are all things that are pretty easy to keep at home and easy to have at home. So what we're going to do here to get going is I like to just throw the crepe down, and I like to go to one side, maybe a third of the way across the crepe or whatever, and just smear a line of Nutella on there, and then throw some bananas down. And the best part is you don't have to be fancy about this at all. You literally can just throw it in there and it's perfect, because you're going to roll it all up here in a second. Throw some strawberry down there. Again, we're just trying to make it a little bit even, nothing too crazy or special. And then some people like to put the Ready Whip on the inside, but I like to put mine on the outside so it doesn't get all warm and gooey, because the crepe's nice and warm and steamy right now. And then literally just roll the crepe up like a burrito, just like that, okay? So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna set it aside, and I'm gonna take the next crepe off the stack here. Since they're all stacked together like this, they're nice and warm and malleable, and I'm gonna do the exact same thing again. And now that we've got that there, might as well give our Ready Whip a little shake. Give it a nice squirt of whipped cream there, okay? Alright, so that is how you make crepes. Alright guys, that wraps us up for the How to Make Crepes video. Comment below and let me know what you put in your crepes. And remember, it doesn't have to be sweet, it could be savory. For instance, ham and Swiss or bacon and eggs. Anyway, let me know. Have a good day.